Hello, everybody, and welcome to the last stream of the week, right? Sunday, and the end of the weekend, unfortunately. But welcome, everybody. So I was thinking for today, we'll kind of continue some of the work that we um, we started yesterday, and a couple of updates from at least with something that I was trying to do and yeah, we'll kind of work on this area a little bit more, and we'll see what we can get out of it. Now, the main thing, something I mentioned yesterday. Hey, Atlantica, welcome. So something I mentioned yesterday was, and I think Atlan was asking this. I You probably noticed already. There's like a few changes with some of the materials, like the siding on these houses. And mainly what has happened there is, so these are these individual level instances. But what I did is in each one of those, this is now a pack level actor. So basically what this is, it is a blueprint with a bunch of instance meshes along with hierarchical instance meshes. So if we were to look at these, like this one, for example, is a hierarchical instance mesh, but it's only one draw call and it has 12 pieces because there's like a, repetitive use of this across this particular mesh. Yeah, and this one, I think I might have moved some pieces around, so like the joining is not perfect, so I'll probably end up having to fix that, just kind of slightly nudge these into place. But what that leads to is quite a significant drop in draw calls for this singular level instance. Now, the other thing that I was able to do by converting it like this, and you'll see in the construction script, I have created an array of siding materials, and this one has like four different materials with just different colors applied to it. And I've kind of split it. This is just kind of a, I was playing around with the design, whereas the side of it has a different material than the front of it. So all the front pieces, so the front and the back have same material applied, and the side is a different material, but they all come out of this array of materials. So basically, I'm just generating on construction script, I'm generating a random integer and picking one out, one of the materials at random. So that's why in here you'll see that each different house has a different set of materials applied to it. And so basically, if I was to select this apartment, and I think just moving it around should regenerate the construction script, and then I get a brand new building. So there we go. That was one way that I wanted to make sure that I'm getting some variety and colors around these buildings, And so, for example, this one here, it looked fine before with the same cladding, the same siding material, but I think to me at least I like it better with a little bit of variety. And actually this one's just the plain one. It's not the newly one that we've made yesterday, kind of the shorter building, but it's just this one here. So this one is the one that if I was to go inside and edit it, you'll see that the construction script runs again, and there's like a little bit of a change in the materials for this building. So if I was to kind of just move it around a little bit, different materials will get applied because the construction script runs again, and so some variety in this. And they all use the same exact set of textures. It's just a different color in the material. Hey, Anthony, welcome. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I hope that helps. And it's a very easy thing to do, especially like when it comes to a building like this that is kind of repetitive and you can use it in multiple locations. And that's what I was trying to do to add a little bit of variety. So yeah. Um, all right. Well, let's get to it. And another thing that well, I'm gonna put the player a little bit closer to this area just so that I I don't have to walk all the way back there. But I actually wanted to test out a little bit of a mechanic to distract the enemy. So actually, I'm gonna try and see if it's gonna work. This is kind of this is just really testing the mechanics at the moment. But let's give this a shot. So just gonna place the player here on this deck, and let me grab one of the enemies that's gonna spawn around here. And what I'll do is I will have him like patrol around here, like in between the buildings. We'll see if that works. Not entirely sure. I haven't looked at the navigation mesh in a while. So I guess it's going to be a little bit of gameplay design, so to speak, as well as we'll do some of the level design around these buildings. But let me see where this patrol path is at. Patrol path 4. And so this guy should actually be patrolling, but do we have the navigation mesh? I think I might have, did I delete it or is it really small? Where is it? Oh, it's that's why it didn't do anything because it's like up there in the sky. That doesn't help much. So let's just place it around here. And I'm gonna try and drag that patrol path over in between the buildings. We'll see. Hopefully, the patrolling is gonna work. Patrol path, and this one is this one here. So let's see if he's gonna be able to reach these points. That's kind of the main thing as well. So this one here, I think, is going to be possible. I think this one, not so much because it's like right inside the building. So it's kind of just making uh, a circle around the buildings here. So let's see if he's able to navigate these. Again, this might fail. First time actually trying it in a while. So let's see how this is going to turn out. I'm just as curious myself. But it's also a good test. So, and also showing a little bit of the mechanics. I wish I had the bow actually, but I'm gonna try and at least use the distractor and see how that how the enemy reacts to the distractor, and then maybe try and do a stealthy takedown. But first, let's see. Okay, so the guy is going out there to patrol. There he is. I need to fix this stuff here. Let me just close some of these open tabs. Um, oh yeah, so I guess he saw me, but he's not. Oh, there he goes. He's not firing for whatever reason. Is he? What's Oh, oops, sorry. Well, I guess uh, I guess he was a little too aggressive that time. All right, guy. So that's how it is. In that case, I'm gonna try and like not place this guy, I mean the player right in front of him. So let me just kind of hide him behind this fence here. And then we'll try and take another stab at this. It's kind of interesting. I need to look at it and see why he was not able to target me up there. I mean to like shoot at me. Not entirely sure why that happened. But but yeah, what I wanted to test out this distractor and and see if I can like trick him that way. Sometimes I'm not sure why it doesn't completely load in the editor, and it just puts me at 0, 0 in the world. I think there's some like timeout when it comes to getting the level streaming data, the world level streaming data. There we go. So there's the guy. Oh damn, he saw me really quick. And he's like, "Oh, well, that's an interesting bug. I guess he's getting into like a fisticuff mode when he like gets up close to me, and that's why he's like getting all aggressive." So and the other thing is like the I have set up a distance detection system, so the closer I am to the enemy, the faster it detects me. So I guess I need to make that a little smaller because right now it's um, like it's just like instant almost at that distance. So I want to see like that's how it works. So at that distance, it I need to make that a little bit smaller. So so this is like the I guess he saw me. Oh man, I need to make this guy dumber, or at least not see so good. All right, let's I'm gonna try and at least just to test this out, I'm gonna move um this path point, at least this one here. So I'm gonna move it out here, and we'll see. I'm hoping that he's just gonna loop. So this one should like loop the path points. But I mean, I think let me push this into this alleyway a little bit this way. So he should be going to 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on, basically. Okay, let's try this one more time. See if it's gonna work. If not, I'll do a little bit more dumbing down of the enemy. It's just he was like too much. Oh, thank you, Model More. Thank you so much. Yeah, these are not. I mean, oops. Oh, he saw me already. Yeah. So see, this is what I meant. Okay. Whew, that was close. Thank you. It was. It's. I can't take credit for them because I didn't make them. They're like part of North Conifer biome. Where's the guy at? There he goes. Oops. So this is fine, but I need to make that distance a little smaller. Okay, I think he just went behind the house. There he is. So what I'm trying to do is, and I should have made this distractor a little bit farther. And I think I just threw one. It sounds like an explosion, so that's not going to be the end result. Ah, come on, guy. At this point, I'm just gonna, you know, equip the bow and be done with the dude. He's like pestering me. So yeah, the way they behave is like he goes to the point where he last saw you and then starts investigating. So that investigation might, put him in a place where they can see you. Oh, there he is. God, dude, relax. Oh yeah, too late. But I think he ran out of bullets because he's trying to find a cover point now, and but I think he ran out of bullets and he can't reload. I created a Terminator. Yeah, in a floating building here, but that can be fixed. The Terminator, not so much. Where is that dude gone to? Oh, oh, he's coming back. I think he might be coming back. Oh yeah, there he goes. So, um, damn. He ran out of bullets, that's for sure. And so what it does is, he'll fire at you, be aggressive and all that, runs out of bullets, looks for cover, reloads, and then um, you know, s- tries to search for you again in the last known location. If not, returns back to patrolling. But I think at this point he's just out of bullets. So let's come on, get it. Ah, shoot. Uh, Yeah, this is something that I forgot to fix. Come on. I had this fixed where wherever you would like look, the montage to for the fist punch would punch in that direction, but I uh I was playing around with the animation blueprint and I think I just messed something up. So, and this guy looks like that was the other problem. It looked like he was in about to, like go Mike Tyson on me and just like do, fisting like fisticuffs, whatever. I think it's fisticuffs, right? And but uh, because he ran out of bullets, but that's a state that I need to fix. Okay, so we got the path. We've played with that. I wish it was working a little bit better. I mean, I need to make him a little dumber, or at least a little blinder, because he can see you from a little bit too far away and kind of notice you too quickly. And so I need to do some fixes for that. But anyways, let's get back into. I just wanted to share a little bit of that with you, and kind of that distractor. That's how you throw something. That's how the arrow works, and I can show you the bow at least because we were right here. So let's just try to take him down. Uh, because this is also kind of just some fun mechanics, and they both work the same way, child blueprints and child classes, where the throw projectile like that distractor, the arrow works basically the same way. So let's play around a little bit with. I don't think I deleted that spawn point, so he should spawn. But let's see. Hopefully this one loads properly. No, I think this one. Yeah, so this is that little bug that I was telling you about. I need to try and figure it out why it loads all the way back to 0, 0. Oh, thank you, Atlantica. So you mean like the loading screen, like this part here? Yeah, thank you, thank you. Um, and so this is the little issue with this fence. This fence doesn't seem to load in. I'm not sure why. And why can't I enter? Oh, did I put in? I put in like the actual, not the interactable bow, but the actual weapon itself. So let me put in like the actual interactable bow that you can pick up. Yeah, and like I said, this one's interesting here that this does not load. Um, so I'm gonna need to figure out why that is. So let's try this again and and see what can we do about that guy. I mean, this is pretty straightforward. I've shown it in a previous stream, and I'm still debating whether to make the bow to have like a strength drawback. So basically, the longer you keep your right mouse button clicked, you draw the bow and you can like shoot the arrow farther. Because right now is just one distance. Um, oh, the render. Yeah, I never. That's a really good idea because I think it was something that was going on with this particular one. And thank you, thank you. Yeah, I wasn't sure why it's what you see in the editor is not what you see when you play an editor. And I'm guessing this one is running into that little thing again, little issue. See where it like places me at 0, 0 instead of where I'm supposed to load in. So I'll need to see what that's about. But thank you, Model More. Let's see. Let's see how this goes this time around. Loaded pretty quick. So, whoopsie. Ah, come on. Why would that, what was I hitting? Man, I suck at shooters. This guy is way too smart for me. Yeah, that could be it as well. I'm guessing. This bow is not for hunting, or at least not for me hunting. And I just need to make the frame rate a little bit better, because it's really tough when it's 20 frames in the editor, and that one's not that good either. Oh yeah, the other thing that I forgot to mention yesterday, or I might have did, but I forgot, is I was able to, and that took a little bit of doing this week, to build the game itself, so have it run successfully. There's another guy there. I forgot I also spawned that guy. That's a little too far for the arrow. Okay, that was better. Okay, what now? What are you gonna talk back? Oops, this guy is. And I ran out of arrows. Oh man. Um, hey Bob, welcome, welcome. So that was a little bit of fun. Hopefully, it's I was also doing some profiling on it, and everything is not so the game thread runs pretty well, like around 16 17 milliseconds, considering animations, skeletons and all that. But yeah, the render thread, like the render part of it, is what takes like 33 milliseconds, and that's something that I need to try and get to make better. um, so yeah. And the other thing that I wanted to share with you guys, just a little bit of the reason that I'm using these little decals here, and you'll see it on a couple of other buildings, is they do have a meaning in the game. So they will be kind of a location type of thing, and it'll be kind of like for friendly NPCs and so like that. And one thing that I wanted to also do today is, and you'll see here shortly, is make this area work, which is like a basement entrance. And uh, folks that have been on previous streams have seen this in a different house in the residential area here. Um, and where is this? In this house basement. And so I'm going to use the same entrance to place it at some of these points of interest. Oh, thank you, Bob. Thank you. Model more cube map. What about the cube map? Were you asking? And thank you. But I wanted to kind of sculpt the terrain a little bit around the outskirts of this, just to make it like this. So there we go. It kind of blends in. Oof, there's like some bumpiness there. Oh, so it wasn't vertex painting. It was just it's just the terrain. And so I've actually punched a hole. Punched a hole. It's like if you paint on the visibility layer, if you have that in your landscape material, you can actually just put a hole in the terrain like this. So that was it. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Try and get this one to and we'll paint a little bit of grass. That should also help kind of mask the joint there. Yeah, one thing that is kind of interesting and annoying at the same time, you can still paint on the visibility layer with the brush. So basically I can, if I want to paint on this entrance grass, I it's possible. I'm not sure why they allowed it for that to happen, but you know, somebody somewhere made a decision, or they just didn't really think about it. I don't know. So yeah, um, and around that, let's just add a little bit of this fencing. Let's try and get the daytime light to be just daylight. Maybe get a little bit more light around here. And this part I can also visibility, sculpt this out like that. There we go. So let's place this stuff around here. Just like that. And then this would be the basement entrance. What I need to do is, I'm gonna start by just as a visual prototype type thing. I'm just gonna use this level here to, though it's going to be different, to kind of position it around here. Kind of try and work out the entrance part of things. Because this one kind of turns a corner and enters the basement. The other one was just straight in, and that's what I'm trying to do. Try and place this close as possible, at least. So yeah, this would be the entrance here. And let me kind of turn on some lights in here so we can see a little bit better in the basement. Though I'm kind of wondering if I did not also bring in the the post-process volume. It is basement-ish. Yes, I want to save them. Let me see if I forgot to also. I think the post-process volume is by itself, yes. So let's get this in as well. I think the house is right there, about there. And yeah, you can see it sticks out, It's not the basement for this house, but all right, so let's position the post-process volume right there. Okay, so that's a little bit better. See about the exposure here. Kind of turn this down a little bit. It's just a little too bright. There we go, kind of like that. And now I need to see how to do this little mud area. I'm not sure what to call it. Uh, it's probably going to be some rectangles. I mean, some planes at this point, just for prototyping purposes, and then trying to see if the player can navigate it properly. And let's see, I'm probably going to try and use, yeah, this is what I was talking about yesterday, like there's like, I have way too many different bricks from like all these different levels. So I just need to remove them and just consolidate under maybe one or two different materials. That should be pretty easy. I've been kind of doing it this past week as well. It's not the funnest part of game development, but it's got to be done. All right, well, let's add in some, just going to start with some plain, and then just using this brick here to try and kind of create the entrance, or this section here. It's going to be some very rough prototyping happening here, but bear with me for a little bit. So that's the entrance there. The other thing that I need is one of those beams just to, this is so useful for these transition areas. Hey, new master, I am still on 5.3, and that is mostly because I have one plugin that for like the MetaHuman facial animation that they're still working on to get it into 5.4. So that's the only reason that I'm still on 5.3. I've heard some good things. I'm kind of excited about 5.4. I've heard some good things about like some like performance improvements and all that. So that's something that I'm excited about and really want to try it out as soon as possible. But like I said, it's just uh, I just need to wait until the people behind this add-on have it ready for 5.4. Because all the other ones, all the other add-ons that I'm using are done, are on 5.4. So with virtual textures like so I'm not using virtual textures. I was playing around with them for a little bit. I did notice, and I was showing this in a previous stream, I did notice like a drop in like the texture statistics and how much memory they're taking up. But what I did also did notice is the additional shader complexity. Like it would bump up the shader complexity by at least 100 instructions. And again, I am no expert when it comes to that, so maybe I did something wrong, but I couldn't tell what, if anything, I did wrong. And so in the end, I decided, I'd better just manage the textures. I should manage the textures better first, and then if I really need to go virtual texture route. But and I've also, like previously, I was playing around with the runtime virtual textures, like kind of like the blending into the terrain of different meshes. Um, like for example, where the contact line between this mesh and this one happens. Um, and it helps with the blending a lot. But I thought, you know what, it's just I don't use it that much, so I just got rid of the runtime virtual textures as well. And what I'm doing now is I'm using pixel depth offset, which also works really well. So um, it's and a lot of these little lines here, they're not going to be noticeable. Like see around here. Like for example, what pixel depth offset. So let me see, I can like sculpt this a little bit and show you. Yeah, so see pixel depth offset also helps with the blending and it's pretty seamless. I don't really need runtime virtual textures for blendings, these types of blendings, right? So I think it like see, like the blending line is pretty smooth. And so this is all done through pixel depth offset, which is just a small additional on complexity on the shader. And that was another thing, with runtime virtual textures, they were adding quite a bit of. It wasn't a lot because you're probably not going to cover the map in it, but I think in the end, like every little bit helps. So wherever you can like optimize things, that's uh, that's where I'm at. All right, let's see if we can get this to not show grass through it. And the other thing I guess we can do as well, I should have paid a little bit more attention to it, is the positioning of this. Let's see, is it poking through the terrain? It's not, so that's good. It's just poking through the side, and that was something that I've been meaning to do anyways with this with these meshes for this under, I wouldn't call it underground, but for this for the basements. Um, Yeah, that is so I have that set to 5,000. I've been playing around with that value, but I've noticed the main thing that you can do is, and what helps the most is if you once you go under like tools and audit and statistics and try to get the value down as much as you can. Like for example, here in the texture stats, like this is the current streaming level, but if I look at all the streaming levels, like since I'm using level streaming, this will never get to 8 gigs. But if I'm gonna try and get this down to a reasonable value, like for example these hanging linens normal, this doesn't need to be like a 21 megabytes. So this is where I've noticed like the biggest improvement, and also it's a good thing to do cleanup because you don't want, like I was saying, just about the bricks. If I have like 5 different types of bricks, I'm not gonna need that. Nobody's gonna notice that if there's only two. And so that's kind of my plan to get some of this stuff a little bit better optimized. And yeah, like I said, this mesh I need to fix. It's kind of an odd thing how the original developer did that particular mesh. It's kind of like an overhang, but it's a little odd. Uh, but anyways, this is should be navigable now, so we'll give that a try and see if the player can enter the basement. I'll make sure that I want to save here. All right, let's jump into game. But yeah, I've noticed the pool size that the R streaming pool size does count a lot. So, oh, I forgot about the enemies. I forgot about removing this guy. My bad. Let's see, is this the spawn point? Yes. All right, let's go back in without the Terminator dude. And mainly what I wanted to test out is the entrance, and then I'm gonna be able to turn that basement into like a basement that fits the building itself, and not to be so repetitive as the other one, the other basement, which fitted the house. So I think there's that issue again. Not entirely sure why that happens. Yeah, see, it's like placing me all the way at the origin. So let's go back in. All right. That guy should not be there anymore. Yeah, and as you can see, like There's a little bit of variety, but right now, that's interesting why they all have the same material applied. That's kind of interesting. All right, so everything in here you can enter it as expected. I think there's some collision from the house over here that I'm just gonna need to fix. But yeah, you can enter the basement just fine, which is good, and exit. Perfect. Let me see if just to play around with this for a little bit. I wanted to see if we can do something about the sky. I wish like every single place that you visit has the perfect positioning of the like in my case the sky blueprint, but that's not I'm totally aware that's not possible. But I'm just, I was hoping for it, like this, uh, or the sky would shine like that, you know. But yeah, I'm fully aware, and this is actually a pretty good placement for the rest of the map as well. Uh, I guess it's just kind of being aware of how you place things on the map to get the best lighting. That also matters. But once, at least in this prototyping phase of just placing things and seeing what works, um, you know, and plus, I'm not entirely sure why this one will not get shading from the ground, and there's like the light coming through it. Oh, it's because I think this one does not cast shadows, right? So that's why, there's like, but it should cast shadows from the terrain. I thought I had that turned on. So like landscape. That's also one thing that I've discovered is like, you can turn on and off the shadows for this, and you wouldn't see um, a lot of difference at first, but this is pretty major here. Yeah, the two-sided material, but I think in my case it's the landscape not casting shadows. So there we go. And this little bit here is probably because I've cut the terrain a little too much. So let me do a little bit of sculpting around here. Let's see if that helped. That helped a little bit, but not as well as I was hoping. I think it might just be a little too close to that. Yeah, see, so on this section here with the shadows from the terrain, it should not be, I mean, it was better than now than before, but it still shouldn't, yeah, if this one was to use two-sided material, for example, and like I said, this one is just, I'm just going to replace this with like a cube. So there we go. I think they might be just too close to the surface. If you're having texture, yes, yeah. So I do have like the master materials. They all have shared wrap, and I haven't had any texture related performance issues is just that I have so many things from so many different places, and I didn't get around to cleaning them up, that I'm using a little bit too much. I also have like a really old 1070, and I think that comes with 8 gigs of RAM, and I'm not sure how well it runs to begin with. But yeah, it's that's why I want to try and kind of get these textures cleaned up as best as possible. And yeah, remove a bunch of those ones that I have multiples of, like I have a couple of different siding materials. That's not right. So yeah, I'm totally aware that uh, I need to be better. All right, so not disregarding this section here, we'll just work on a couple of these side streets for now. So let's try and get a couple of these things to work a little bit better with each other. Let's see if I can keep this a little bit better. Um, oh yeah. It's so in the master material, like if I think let's actually, now that you mentioned it, just gonna, I'm gonna check myself just to make sure that I am not. Oh, I guess I am lying. And I guess that should be something that I'm gonna, well, the shed wrap, I know that it was causing issues with the terrain material, like you wouldn't be able to have more than a certain number of layers, but the if it's just a regular master material, like for um, for your assets, like I've never had a problem with changing this to shared wrap. But that's actually something that I'm gonna try and see if there's any improvements. If, if say this one, for example, like, base color, masks, whatever, all the textures, if I set these to shared wrap, though to my knowledge, it was only on the terrain material where it mattered, like landscape material. But thank you so much, Model, for telling me about that. It's I'm definitely gonna check on that and see what's the deal with it. All right, so I'm kind of thinking like this. I can make this a little bit lower. I'm not sure. Let's see how I can use these. That's the other thing I did last night. You might notice it. I've kind of lowered the bevel of this. Actually, not to all of them, apparently. So yeah, this is, remember like yesterday we were having some hard time kind of joining these together because this is like a flat lip here. So what I did is I made it like this. So like the edges are a little bit pushed down so it would kind of um, join a little bit better with the terrain and any other mesh around it. So if we keep it around that height, I think I can like sculpt around it. Now I wanted to see how the sunset looks at this angle. I mean, does the sun make it through all the way into this alleyway? It kind of does. Okay, But yeah, daylight should be a little bit easier to see what we're sculpting over here. And this is something I keep bringing up. It's I guess one of the reasons for me streaming is is getting some folks that have great knowledge on Unreal join, and they have I better knowledge than I do with things, and it's always good to get some of their insight during the stream. So that's always awesome to have. All right, and this one, it's gonna join into this road here. We'll see how we can, if we can place this one like this. And yes, with the risk of reusing these a little too much. And for example, this is another, at least for my plan, this is another set where I am planning to use this pack level actor, where there's like a bunch of repetitive uses of these two meshes basically, well, three with this little sidewalk that I'm gonna kind of add here and there, but this would be a perfect candidate for instance meshes. So through that pack level actor, basically, it's just going to create three draw calls instead of, I think there's like 20 of these here, 50, maybe not 20, but 15 or so. And so that should also help with reducing some of the draw calls. From what I can tell, I haven't tried to use like the pack level actors in like a really big area. So I'm just trying to keep them localized to, like I was showing you, this house, and yeah. Oh, um, yeah, it definitely is. I will definitely uh I'm with you on that. It's um as somebody that's working on this project on my own, e.g. the name of the project, I guess. I do like doing everything because it doesn't I do not get bored with it. So that's a little bit of um, how I look at it. Yeah, progress is definitely slower, when you work by yourself, but indie stuff is hard. It's more fun working on your own. I see what you did there, Alanika. Yeah, I mean it it definitely it has its drawbacks. I'm not gonna lie. It's there's times that I'm like um I don't feel like doing something, and but um but at the same time I think what what I do like about it is that well, like I said, I never got never getting bored, and I learn um so much, from you guys, from stuff that I'm just like trying out, and yeah, I think boredom is horrible. Is something that like you were saying, Noob, I do not want to get bored with this because I or quit. I've had times, mostly due to how things were at work, and that was probably like the only reason where I was like, just feeling a little down, and work was kind of, unsatisfactory, and like, you're home and you're like, I don't feel like doing anything. But then you pick up and you do a little bit of work on your project, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I can, I'll power through this. I'll focus on something that I really enjoy. And that's the thing, it's if it becomes a chore, it's not a hobby. If it becomes a chore, then it's work, right? So I feel that it's it's definitely tough, no doubt. It it takes some doing and lifting, but I I do enjoy literally like every minute of doing this. So I mean, I guess if I wasn't, I would not be here, with you guys. Um, it's actually Megascans, if I recall correctly. Oh, no, it's no trouble at all. It is, I can actually tell you what it is. One second, let me just get this um, terrain up to a little bit of a better positioning here. So bear with me one second. There it goes. And so let's take a quick look. It's not called Muddy Ground, but I'll show you. So this is how I have it set up. So basically, there is um, an alpha, so we can like split it up down the middle into like just some tracks type of stuff. And the texture itself, it's whoopsie. I guess I lied. I do not know where that's from. I'll have to be honest with you. I It looks like this. But so that's the top one, but the bottom one is, let me see. I think this one is a Mega Scans. I thought it was a Mega Scans. Oh yeah, it is a Mega Scans, but I just kind of renamed it. So it is called, if you want to pause the video or take a screenshot, is this VKVNFA2 mud tire tracks. This is actually, I like this one. I've used this one for like the dirt terrain. Like the other version in Minecraft. Yeah, I mean Minecraft is world building, so I guess yeah, we're in the same thing. But new master, hopefully that helps. Let me know. And I'm just gonna try and get this one to, let me fix some of these things over here. Whoops, no, negative 1400 and negative 8000. Just trying to, it's so tough when you don't like part of the town is at a slope, and doing slopes, oh my God, it adds so much complexity, and like especially when it's like in a if it's organic instead of environment, then it's easy. But if it's like town and like stuff like that, it's just like, oh man. So that's 37. Let's do 30, 40. And I'm gonna try and make this one at 40 as well. It was on a slope. Um, so the landscape itself is it started off with excuse me for 1 second. So the landscape itself started from one of those monthly free packages from Unreal, and I believe it's like a desert hills landscape, desert something. And then I just kind of sculpted the middle, so to kind of account for some of the locations in the world. But yeah, no, I didn't use Gaia. Um, I've seen it. I was playing with a while back. I was playing with World Machine, um, and then I realized that there's only so much time during the day, and um, it's really fun. But like I was saying, sculpting is mostly do it just in the engine. Everything else that's kind of custom and such. It's so tough doing corners with just one mesh. But luckily, there's the terrain to the rescue. Um, let's sculpt. All right, there we go. I think that turned into a decently looking back alley. See, do we need this one to help with the transition between these two plates? I think we can use it. Oh yeah, yeah. So, um, oh yeah, just the flat landscapes. Well, I think New Master, do you know about Atlantica's project? Because it's a massive, how would you call it? Like a massive space exploration game? Yeah. So I'm guessing part of it is because of that, and I think he's also using what is it, the Voxel plugin, Atlantica? which is to because I mean the if you check out their channel, yeah, it's you know the galaxy size thing is just ginormous, which should be a lot of fun. All right, let me I'm just gonna fix this real quick so we can cut out this room here out of this basement level. Oh yeah, thank you, Atlantica, for replying. All right, so now we have the small version um, of this level. And let's see what sections we want to cut out of it. It's probably going to be all of this without these pieces. And let's also keep the separator thing here. Will look good against the wall. All right, and off with that one. All right, there we go. Now we fixed the basement. I'm just gonna need to make it so that I'm gonna have like a kind of a wall behind here. So that should work out, but well, let's see, is there anything else sticking out? Which is this little bit here. And like I said, it's probably because of these kind of weird meshes. I'm not entirely sure. This is what I was telling you about. Like the developer made these wall sections that look like this. I was kind of, I was, I could kind of see it and in like the way they built their world, like what for, you know, for like the presentation purposes, the level. Um, because this basement is kind of is one of those that sticks above ground a little bit. So this is like a piece that's right below the foundation. So it's above ground basically. It looks kind of like this. Let's see if I can show you. So it's kind of like one of those types of basements, you know, like this is where the house is and the basement is here. But in my case, it just kind of complicates things a little bit. All right. Well, I'm seeing a little bit of some stuff to fix around here. Let's do some flattening. There we go. And we need to fix this around here just so that it's and of course, you know, there's always some decals that we can put on there. I mean, it's not gonna the tire tracks are not gonna help much, but should help a little bit. right, there we go. And we got another little alleyway back here. And then the street is coming along on this side. This is a little bit of a garage I made to go along, hopefully, with some of these meshes. And let's try and fix this little pathway here, like that. And we'll try and make a little bit of use of this I scatter tool to get some trees where they wouldn't normally spawn with the procedural foliage volume. Keep forgetting to turn the snap on. All right, let's make these kind of a smaller trees. Or actually, the scale is a little too big for that area, so let's do to about 1. It's a little bit better. And reduce the spread and maybe the number. There we go, that's a little bit better. And we just need to move these points in a little bit. Place them a little bit closer to the house there. Hey, yeah, it's like I said, model. It's I've used it for no, that's actually the tool is called IA scatter. So IA underscore scatter. It's basically like this, and it's on the marketplace. And I've used it to place like, electrical poles like this, that they dynamically link into each other. The poles itself, it's a blueprint I've created. The kind of the beginning of it is a tutorial on my channel. And but I also use it to place things like, these decals on the road, kind of just like patches and stuff like that. And let's see what else. A lot of the vegetation, fences. This one here that I'm not gonna forget to look at it and see why is it doing the way it's doing. I'm wondering if it's because of hierarchical meshes. Could that be it? I don't think it's probably not, but let me just uh, let me just try it out. It's something else. I think it's something related to the mesh settings itself, not because this is the start call distance and end call distance for this actor. So maybe it's something related to the mesh. But yeah, so for example, for fences, it's perfect for fences. As it's perfect for like natural stuff that you just like those trees, like some rocks if you want to place them that way. Um, I've yeah, it doesn't work. I'll need to figure out why that is. Um, so yeah. Oh, actually, that's a good point. Let me see. No, it doesn't. It's something at runtime. I'm not entirely sure what it is. I need to, because it doesn't happen for other ones. It just happens for that. I'm not 100% sure on why. So to be continued. But yeah, things like this where you can place like these row of trees that and place them as instance meshes, that's cool, you know. And you can just like since it's on a spline, you can just extend it like this and then you know, make the trees follow the spline, make them a little bit more spread out or, however you want to. Yeah, it's a cool tool and it's actually I got it on sale and I think it was $2, something like that. So very cheap. Pretty much, exactly. And that's one of the reasons that I was just using this thing instead of like trying PCG because it just goes over my head. It's a little bit too complex. And I'm like I don't think I'm gonna make that much use of it. I mean, like use it to that level. And yeah, um, trying to just kind of keep it simple, I guess. But um, yeah, I've seen some tutorials. I mean, it didn't seem extremely daunting, but I'm kind of sometimes I'm in the mindset of I'm putting something in, then something must get out. And that's what I'm afraid of is like, oh, what am I gonna lose? You know? I know it's probably just doesn't really make sense, or it's like, yeah, I know you're overthinking it, but yeah. All right, let's remove this old building that I've had around for a while, and at least for now, I'm just gonna try and use one of these brick ones since I've already made this. I think I might have gone a little too much with the rotation. So yeah, for example, this is what I was telling you about as well with the instance, not the instance, what I was going to say, the pack level actor. So for example, this one has a bunch of repeating meshes like this one. There's 9 of these on this side, and then, so 18. This is like 18 draw calls, and turn it into a pack level actor is going to be 1. And the same thing goes, there's like 2 here, and uh, that's going to be just 1 draw call, and then this one's just 1. Another one here, the roof as well. These are all 3 of the same kind. So again, wherever there's like some of these modular buildings, I try to make them into into pack level actors. All right, so that place there is all right. Let's fix a little bit of this terrain, namely just by sculpting it. And we'll also use this little thing here to extend this parking lot into there. Yeah, and see this thing has quite a lot of cool features, like when it comes to how to spawn this, right? So right now it's on a spline with a very small spread, but what I could do is turn this into, see if I recall where it is. So it's splined down, but I can turn it into an area. So it's kind of trying to cover to fill in that area around around where this the spline is. So you can see like right now it doesn't follow the spline as much. And there's quite a few other ones, like for example, something that I was playing around with a while back is if I place in like one of those scatter tools here. So this is like a planar down, and I can just use this. Let's grab this this tree and then use it in here. And I was kind of thinking that this one was, depending on the size of this. Oh, there we go. I guess it's taking into account the setting in here, right? Um, so I can place some of these things out here. And right now it's doing a tracing, so it places it right on top of wherever it collides with. So I think it collides with this antenna. And if I was to Um, also, let's do no tracing. Where is it? So let's see, tracing complex. There was one of these. There's like a couple of. I think this could have been done a little bit better. It's kind of hard to tell. And you know, I have a very old version of this. I think it's probably around where when it, maybe not when it came out, but I know there's been quite a lot of more improvement done to it. But there's a couple of options that you can set it for the overlap methods. And I was just trying to figure out, there we go, this one is it, where it just spawns and it ignores the meshes, I believe, because it does take into account the terrain, but it ignores this mesh. That was it. So and then in here, let's also do a little bit of there's also the cool thing is there's like a scale fall off. So like towards the outer edges, there's like smaller instances, and towards the middle, like bigger instances. So that's pretty cool. And I'm gonna try and make this one. Let's try see about the fall off ratio here. Play with this one a little bit. I actually haven't played that much with this setting with the fall off. I do kind of like it. All right, and then a little bit of you know, with the surface curvature, like the examples are crazy, like some of the stuff that you can do, and that's why, like you were saying, if it works, it works. Um, so yeah, there we go. I just wanted to spawn a little bit of a thing in there, and let's do a little bit more painting around here, maybe some mulch, add a little bit of variety uh, in here. Like maybe some ferns spawning out around there, like a little bit of a small, like a small tree. There you go, kind of something like that. And I am really torn between for the sidewalk because I have this town sidewalk, which is a little bit pristine-ish, so to speak. Um, the cool part about it is that I managed to make it a bunch of like modular pieces out of it. But then I have this one, which is, you know, more realistic, and it blends quite a bit better with this mesh. So I wanted to use it to surround this area around here. So I'm really torn between using this versus that other piece. You know, like this one still works, and the advantage with it is that it's much more modular. And you know, I have like pieces like this that I can do with it. You know, so I can kind of have a corner there. Um, but on the other aspect of things, what I'm probably going to end up doing is turn these texture for this concrete surface and kind of poach it from this one, which should be pretty easy. Okay, and that way they would all look, and you know, for starters, you know, cut back on some of that texture usage, and also have them be consistent. You know, replace some of these ones around here as well. So I think that might work. All right, let's do this one here like that. Because I want to use these just because they're I've made them really modular and they can be used with that spline tool, you know, so that's kind of the main reason that I want to keep using these. There we go. So we got a little bit of a kind of boundary set up here, which is good. The only thing is, there, that's a little bit better. I think I went a little bit too big with that brush. There, like that. Okay. And since we're next to this building, just going to do a little bit of a carport to kind of remove a little bit of that, you know, help with the transition between this vertical surface here and then this flat surface here. I think some of this stuff should help. Let's see. Got a couple of options between this and that awning type of thing. Why not use both? This could be okay like that. The way I was thinking about using it is like this. So this would kind of be the carport here. Oops, and I forgot this is in the gas station level, some of these things. So many people in this town have bought the same car. But yeah, I think that's gonna work a little bit better that way. The other one was felt like it was a little too big. There we go. All right, yeah, it's starting to take shape. This little area of the town. And yeah, see, this is where things are getting a little bit too repetitive for my taste, and that's why I'm trying to use some of those decals to break things up. You know, just some like leaking decals, maybe some you know kind of repairs type decals. But yeah, there we go. We have this section here, and yeah, I forgot to actually change this one to be to actually remove this and just add them on the buildings that I'm gonna use a sign, but it's, you know, just to remove to make it look a little bit, hey, you know, people are gonna say this is, oh, I know this package off the marketplace, and yeah, people might be able to recognize them, but but yeah, just trying to make them a little bit more generic. Yeah, so there we go. It's quite a bit of stuff I think we got done this weekend. I'm probably going to continue on some of this work throughout next week, and you know next weekend we'll take a little bit more of a look at the town. As I was saying, maybe we'll finish off some of this area back here. I'm gonna do a little bit of grunt work to kind of unify some of these meshes. So they're from the same developer, these residential houses and the town stores. And I'm assuming these meshes are the same, so I'm gonna be able to hopefully use the same those same meshes in some of these apartment houses, and you know, kind of the same cladding. As you can see, it pretty much similar, like the same cladding that is here with here, and you know, reduce, reuse type of thing. Yes. So, yeah, with that said, I think, guys, um, that's most of what I was planning on doing today during the stream. And yeah, so I think for the rest of the day, like I said, I'm gonna do some of this work around this area around here, you know, kind of just fixing these walls. And yeah, so model, you could slap a tint on that material. Yeah, that's actually a great point. That is a perfect point there. I love it, especially for this brick. You know, if that's the one that you were referring to, uh, yeah, definitely great thought. And I'm gonna work on that and see what I come up with because I wanted to make it that that the damage section, you know, or like the painted section, it could be like a painted section, kind of blends in with this one as best as possible. So so thank you so much for that idea. That is perfect. Because I've used like Vertex paint materials previously, like for example, for this like this surface here, this I've set this up with the Vertex paint shader that I've created a while back, so you can paint like a little bit of damage like that, you know. And where's the there we go. Where's the vertex? Where's the point in this? Yeah, okay. Just adding a little bit of that in it. But for this one, I think Vertex paint is a perfect idea to paint maybe some damage or some painted brick or something like that. Yeah, and that's the unfortunate thing. I think this particular mesh is not very subdivided, and yeah, you can probably tell there's like one here, one here. So there is a few, you know, but yeah, you're right. It's whenever you paint, and I think for the stuff like this, you have to make like the brush a little bit bigger, to kind of see these points. So see just like that, and then you can paint the I can paint the damage on there or like some of the creases in the asphalt. Uh, Atlantica, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Everybody else, thank you so much for stopping by. Atlantica, thank you for stopping by. Everybody, guys, I hope you have a great week coming up, and I hope to see you next week. Thank you so much, model. Thank you. And yeah, signing off for today, for this weekend, and see you guys in 6-ish days or so. All right, take care, everybody. Be safe. Bye.